Hey, good afternoon, and welcome to the Cruise Amigos live from Virginia. We're having some technical issues here, so we're not entirely sure this is going to work. But in the meantime, while we're waiting, Emily is trying to get in. Oh, she just went out, so she must have had a bad connection.
Hi, Emily.
I am there. Laugh out loud. Try again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, folks.
All right, everybody knows that he's downstairs now. That's Pete Hall over in London. Emily is trying to come back in again. Up there next to me right now is John Reitmeyer. He's up there in Crookston, Minnesota, up in the North Country. He's like near Alaska or North Dakota or Canada or someplace where it's cold.
I'm worried, Chillie, that maybe Emily's kayak is sinking, and she's paddling
Emily's
away.
Kayak could be sinking. That could be a problem.
Sinking.
We're going to lose her,
camera and Mike.
Because I know nothing about kayaking at all, so we're going to wait and see. So hopefully,
so.
You know,
folks, and if we do have anybody in the audience, which I can't tell because I lost track of everything. We are trying to bring Emily on board. All right, Gretchen's with us. Tom's with us. Hey, Gretchen and Tom, good to see you guys. Here's what we got from Emily so far. It's a blank screen, and so this is not working.
Emily, turn any other things that you have your camera on, like if you have your camera open on Facebook, kill that, kill everything else so that it's just StreamYard, please.
Emily might have dropped her camera, Tom says.
Tom actually says the circle of death, which is when it goes round. It's like the old internet, isn't it? When you're trying to get in, it's going round and round and round and round and round and round.
And where it stops, nobody knows. A dime to play, a dime to win. Step right up, ladies and gentlemen. Make the fat lady sing.
Emily's saying it might be the connection. There, whoop, up there. How the hell is it? There we go.
Oh, sorry, guys.
There's Emily. She finally made it. Everybody knows that's Emily Archer. Now, what I want to do is take you up here and get rid of John. So put you up on top.
Get rid of John? You're going to get rid of John? I can't believe you're going to do that.
I've been trying to get rid of John forever. Okay. Today's subject, folks, we're going to talk about kayaking. Emily has become an expert, a kayaker.
Expert, I'm not a professional.
She's an expert, and she's going to teach John and Pete how to kayak. Actually, Emily, so you'll know.
More like this.
I checked with. You're up there in New York.
And actually, I'm in New Rochelle. Yes.
And New Rochelle, New York. So I checked with Governor Cuomo, and I asked him if he intended on naming you kayaking secretary for New York. And he said, who? So we got together and voted, and we're making you secretary of kayaking of the Cruise Amigos.
Sounds good to me.
All right. How did you start kayaking?
Well, it was many years ago, and it's a sport. It's water, and it's boats. And so that's how I started. And since then, I haven't stopped. Oh, that's the same water that we go out on. That's on 5 islands, and it's about 10, 15 minutes from New Rochelle.
We should point out that New Rochelle is the home of Dick Van Dyke when he was on the Dick Van Dyke show.
Yeah, the guy that's over here behind me on my left shoulder, he's one of the instructors. So there's always 2 instructors. Yeah, that right there. At the time, he's not with us anymore, unfortunately. But that particular guy, yes, he is one of the instructors. And we always have 2 instructors that go out with a group of like 10 or 12. It just all depends.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. See, this is a couple of years ago. So even back then, we were all socially distant without even trying to be socially distant.
All right, now I have fears of there's 2 kayaks right out here in my yard.
You told me. I remember.
Okay? I'm not about to get number one. I have a little wide girth, as does John. Now, would we even fit in a kayak?
I think, let's say Pete would, John. I think so. Yeah, I'm not.
Are you Emily? Are you actually suggesting that I might fit in one, but John and Chillie might not, by any chance?
I don't think it's a suggestion.
They would help you. They definitely would help you in the kayak. I don't see why not.
Would John and I sink a kayak?
No, no. There's no way. I mean, I've seen people get in there and thinking they're gonna. You can't sink it.
How safe, Emily, is a kayak? You know, because I am. What would scare me? Because I'm not great with water. I mean, my first ever holiday in Greece, I almost drowned in a pedalo. Yeah, it's true. I almost drowned in the pedalo. Could you believe? Right, it's a true story as well. So I'm not good with water. So how safe are they with someone who's not great at swimming? I'm afraid that I'm gonna fall in.
No. Well, they give you life jackets. The company that we work with is LL Bean. Do you know if you guys know LL Bean? They're from Maine. Okay, they're from Maine. So they give you life jackets, and they also give you, there's whistles in their pockets. And I brought my, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, that's one of the life vests that I had at the time from LL Bean. I hadn't brought mine yet. But somewhere, there might be a whistle hanging from him. But they give you whistles as well.
Emily,
you're very safe out there with them because they're guiding you.
My worry is that when you looked at if you bring that picture back again, please, Chillie, it looks like you're really in that boat, the kayak, with your feet. So I'm thinking, if I fell over, how am I going to get out?
Well,
I have a life jacket on, but how do I get out of it?
No, he's trained. If you did fall out, they're right there, as you can see, next to us, so they would help you get back in the boat or show you how to. Because I never fell out, to be honest. So far, so I've been lucky thus far that I've come close to tipping, but I haven't completely fallen out.
Now, what I mean, Emily, is that I would be happy to fall out. If I fall out of the boat, I'm happy. But if my legs are trapped in there, I'm thinking, and I'm upside down.
See, your legs aren't trapped. I have other pictures. I don't know if you guys saw or not, where you can see the lower half of me, and my legs are actually out in front of me and also under the boat. But if you fell out, your whole entire body would come out. So there's no way no way at all would you be trapped in the kayak, because your whole entire body would go. Yeah, I've come close to tipping, but not falling out. As I said, it's very hard to tip it. And plus, they show you. Yeah, see, exactly. That's up in New York, actually, at one of the LL Bean stores. So as you can see, where the seat is where your behind would go, and your feet and legs are out in front of you.
Are they?
I get that.
Yeah, that's how.
Are your legs? So your legs are in the open as opposed to down in the hole. Is that what you're saying?
They are.
Okay, if you're sitting in the kayak.
Is the connection?
You're sort of skipping a little, but that's okay. All right, if you sit in the kayak, your legs. We lost Emily. Where did you go, Emily?
Tom, guess what we've got, Tom?
Dang gone. I had a question too.
Well, that's really interesting because one of my worries, Hans, hi Hans, I just bought 2 kayaks for the price of 1 canoe. Believe it, he says, yeah. So that sounds great deal, to be honest with you. 2 for the price of 1. Yeah, that's a relief for me because I know nothing about kayaking or canoeing, to be honest with you. And so my worry was if my legs were in the boat and I tipped, I would be
you could be stuck.
Yeah, because some of them you get trained how to get out.
Crap out of me.
Yeah. So that would be my biggest worry.
Okay, there's Emily back again. Now I gotta replace Pete.
You're gonna replace me now. You replaced John.
Well, you somehow you jumped up on top. Wait a minute now. Emily seems to be frozen. Jeez, there we go. We got Emily's face at least. Now, can you try moving your lips again, Emily?
What I want to know is, have they invented Wi-Fi in New York, Emily? Yeah. Has Wi-Fi actually reached New York yet? I'm going to freeze now, aren't I? Because I froze the other week and disappeared from London.
Yeah, Emily, if you can hear us, you are frozen. So I'll just point that out. All right, let's go over here. Let me look at chat real quick while Emily is frozen.
Have Emily turn off her camera so we just talk to her. That'll work great.
Oh, yeah. Try turning your camera off.
And she's turned the whole thing off.
Oh, she turned everything off.
We got a nice little message from Hans there. You'll see that then while she tries to come back. I won't read it. I'll let you put it onto the screen, Chillie.
Well, I'm not there. I was actually reading it on the other screen. Oh, Hans, there I see.
Yeah, there we go.
A man gets home from working the night shift one morning, and his wife greets him at the door wearing nothing but a skimpy nightie and a smile. Tie me up, she says, and you can do whatever you want. He ties her up, and a half hour later, he's kayaking on the river. Oh, that's fabulous. Thank you, Hans. That's my laugh for the day. That's terrific.
Do they kayak the Thames?
Okay, so now we got Emily added back in. Emily, try turning your camera off and see if we can just talk to you.
If not, I'm going to answer Gretchen. Gretchen's got a question. I'll answer that. If not,
go ahead and do that, because I'll have to send her a message.
Well, Gretchen has said, do they kayak the Thames, Pete? Well, I've done a tiny bit of research, guys. Could you believe? Yeah, because I wanted to know, where did kayaking start? When was it invented? Where did it start? I mean, it does go back actually 4,000 years. But one of the starts of kayaking, Gretchen, was by a chap called John Rob Roy McGregor. Could you believe? Yeah, that was in 1865. And he made this kayak, one of the first kayak boats as such. It was 15 foot by 2.5 foot. It was called the Rob Roy. And in 1865, he started a 1,000-mile kayak cruise from the River Thames. Could you believe? In 1865, he crossed the English Channel, and then he went up all the rivers in Western Europe. Yeah, Rob Roy, like the cocktail, absolutely. Yeah, Rob Roy, like the Scots, the famous Scot rebel, basically. Our Scottish ladies will know about that. That was in 1865. And when he came back, he started the first ever canoe club. It was in 1866, and it was called the Royal Canoe Club in Teddington, which is literally down the road from where I used to live. And that was in 1866. And they are still canoeing and kayaking now. So, answer your question, Gretchen. Yes, one of the first official kayaks or canoes was actually on the River Thames. It started the River Thames in 1866.
That's cool.
I've got a few other facts, because kayaking apparently it actually goes back 4,000 years. Can you believe it? The first kayak goes back 4,000 years, and they can trace that back to the native people of the Arctic North America.
That's when I was in grade school.
Yeah, and you're talking about now. They're talking about Greenland, Canada, and Alaska. So that was the first kayak, was over 4,000 years ago. And I have a few more facts as well. Could you believe? Yeah, because of the world's oldest kayak, could you believe? Guess where it is, guys? Guess what country the world's oldest kayak is in? It's in a museum.
Scotland.
Alaska.
Germany.
Oh, those
Germans. The world's oldest kayak is in Germany. It's in the North American section of the Museum 5 Continents. And that kayak is dated 1577.
Wow.
It's incredible history, isn't it, of kayaking? It really is. So you would never have really, obviously it's kayak, canoe, I don't understand the difference and how it kind of works out, but that's where kayaking comes from. So it started off 4,000 years ago. Tom?
400 years ago.
Tom had an 18-day cruise from Dubai to Athens, February 23. Sweet.
Yeah, Tom, you've been that from Dubai. Is that on? I think I might be on the cruise before you. No, I'm on the cruise before you. Before that, it goes from South Africa to Dubai, and then you're going to go on the Dubai one. I'm on the one in South Africa in 2023.
Before you, before?
Yeah, 2 cruises before Tom.
Before
He's avoiding me. Yeah, I booked it. Whether or not I can get to it or not, I don't know. It's January 20. I just moved. I had so many cruises cancelled. Obviously, I just had to move deposits to other cruises, and so I moved one to 2023 in January, thinking we'll be cruising then in South Africa. It's a South African cruise for 12 days, I think it is. It's incredible, and it's an absolute bargain. Chillie.
On her first day of training, a kayak instructor handed Emily 2 kayak paddles and asked, "Which one do you prefer?" Emily replied, "Either or."
Hans, you are saving the show. Hans, I love it.
I think Emily went out looking for her oars now. She's trying to come back in. There we go. Oh, my God. Emily is back in the house.
I gave up. Yes, I gave up being outside. Sorry about that.
Okay. So now I get to kick John off the top row again. We'll put you back upstairs. Okay. So we got Emily back. Let's see. What's it? God, I don't even remember what I had a question. Oh, I know what it was. When you're sitting in a kayak, okay. So you're out there in the middle of the bay, all right, and you're in a kayak, and your feet are out in front of you, right? Is that open?
Yeah, that's a hole.
Or are you down in a hole?
Well, as the picture you showed earlier, there's a seat, so you're in an oval opening. So your behind is on the seat, and they do have pedals. That picture wasn't a good. Well, it was a good picture, but not a good picture to show where the pedals are, because all the kayaks have pedals on for your left foot and your right foot, and you can adjust them to how you want your knees. Because they say they want your knees to be up on the sides of the kayak a little bit.
Pedals? Can you pedal?
How do you pedal?
It's a pedalo.
I thought you were. It's like they're pedaling. They're foot
I'm
pedals.
confused.
Yeah, exactly. They're like on the side, so you can adjust them to how they want your knees to be. So you adjust for your left foot and your right foot, and you rest your feet up on the pedals. The foot pedals, I guess.
Okay.
Wow.
And then they show you how to use your oar, and you can also go backwards.
Emily obviously didn't hear what I was doing. Should I ask her those quick questions?
I didn't. I apologize.
Okay. Very quick questions, Emily. I don't want to bore everyone else. I'll go for what I just did before. How many years ago was kayaking first invented? How many years?
I wish I could answer that question, but I'd be more than happy to find out for you. I wish I did.
4,000 years ago.
400.
No, 4,000 years ago.
What's the year? What's the year?
4,000 years ago, that was invented, yeah? And that was invented by the native people of the Arctic North America. Now, Greenland, Canada, and Alaska. 4,000 years ago,
I said Alaska.
Yeah, that's 4,000 years ago. Now, how old is the oldest kayak they've got? And where is it?
You tell me. I don't know. That's interesting.
You got no idea, yeah? You got no idea on that one? Well, the oldest kayak is in Germany.
I would say,
It's in Germany, and that's 1577.
Oh, wow. Okay. Look at that.
That's not it. That's not it, by the way.
That's not Germany either.
Go ahead, Chillie.
That was a good picture.
That's a little bit of the history of kayaking for you.
All right. Wow. So now that I'm totally confused on kayaking, we also have to talk about paddleboarding.
Oh, now, that's a whole different field.
I want everybody to know this, folks. There is no video evidence that Emily has ever been on a paddleboard. Emily has been in the water. A lot?
A lot.
And almost drowned from a paddleboard. And I never saw a picture with Emily actually standing up there in her bikini, wailing away with the paddle. Now,
I've tried.
Where's the proof?
No, there is. The videos are on there, but because I have a GoPro and the GoPro sits on my wrist, so you can imagine it must be a very dizzying effect because the GoPro sits here and I have the oar that's here. Right, exactly, John. So I'm like this, and I got to switch over and paddle that way and paddle that way. So you can imagine if the GoPro is sitting here, it's not going to be a still shot at all. It's going to be quite.
Now, I do have to admit, there's your videos on Facebook. I couldn't download them. They're not shareable.
That was lucky, Chillie, wasn't it? Because I haven't seen.
I don't have video proof of you drowning like I really wanted. So
I do the video of myself falling. That was me when I fell into the water.
Yeah.
So I took shots. I saw it.
Gretchen has said, Emily, that's not a great promo pic for the sport, really, is it?
No.
And Hans,
very, very true, Gretchen. Yes, very true.
Hans has said, how does a kayak instructor prepare for a night out clubbing? He puts a clean fleece on it.
He probably brings his kayaks with him. Honestly, I should.
Clean fleece on. Hans, you've missed out on Hans. If you look back, you would have seen Hans. They're very, very funny.
Hans had a couple great stories you'll have to go back and check on.
One about you.
For both the kayak and the paddle boarding, we can do a round robin. So all of us are in a circle and they go through name by name by name. You know, they have to say, you have to introduce yourself, Chillie. John, you have to introduce yourself. Pete, you have to introduce
yourself. On the paddle board?
No. This is on land before we go into the water.
Oh, in case you drown, they know what to look for.
Exactly. And we also have the whistles also. So if something happens, we can blow on the whistles and they would hear us. But we go through everybody, introduce ourselves.
What does the whistle sound like underwater?
I do have a whistle. I could blow if you really wanted me to. That'd be really hard to do. Yes, that'd be very hard to do.
All right, now, and serious, I'm obviously, you know, I've been planning on making fun of you forever on this. Seriously speaking, how often do you get to go kayaking or paddle boarding or both?
Well, when you go onto the site, you do have to make a reservation. So if they are full, then you have to make it for the next weekend because they do go out on the weekends. So depending if the whole weekend is full or if there's an opening, which does happen. So a reservation could open up where someone has canceled, and then you can go in and make the reservation, and you pay for your reservation online through the website.
So there's a limited number of people per hour or half day or whatever it is.
Well, it's not. That being does 90 minutes.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, there is a certain amount of people, and it's limited time, limited amount of people. And again, if there is an opening, then you'll see the opening online, actually, on the website.
Does that include instruction?
Yes. Oh, yes. That's what I was saying before when we're all doing our round robin. Sorry. When we do our round robin online, we have to introduce ourselves. Then they also give instruction on how to paddle on the paddleboard and how to kayak when you're in the kayak. So they do on land, and then they help you when they're out in the water. And there's always two people for both the kayak.
It's a bit like an AA meeting, yeah? AA meeting, you know, when you want to introduce yourself. Alison's asked,
Emily, I've kayaked for 5 years, I've paddleboard for 2 years. I live in New Rochelle. Yeah, no, I kind of feel like I'm in a mini AA meeting.
Exactly. Alison's asked, Alison's asked, where's the best place you've kayaked? And actually, Chillie, there's a few messages there if you want to put them on the screen.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry, I don't see them. And that's exactly, this new building here has been going up before COVID, and it's actually looks much better now. And it's gonna be one of the hotels in New Rochelle, and this is in 5 islands out on the ocean, because we have a bay area where we go out on land, and what happens is the bay meets the ocean. So we cross over a rough patch, and then we go out into the ocean, is what you were just looking at right now.
Chillie, there's a few messages there. That's cool. Yeah.
What does kayaking have in common with English beer? They are both close to water.
I haven't had
That
English.
is so not. Hans,
I'll give that question to you. I don't know anything about English beer, so I'll have to hand that.
yeah, well, let's get Hans over, and we'll introduce him to a few beers, yeah, and we'll see how he gets on with that, yeah.
Tom has actually a serious question. How much does 90 minutes cost?
Well, this year, Tom, they bumped it up to $29.95, and about
30 bucks.
Exactly. So a couple of years ago, it was $24.95. So maybe it's because of COVID. Or
why don't you kayak alone? Why don't you
95.
Go alone? For 30 bucks, you could go alone and go have dinner.
I know. No, they're not going to let you go out alone. That's for sure. But that's true. I know. You're right.
Yeah, you got to have somebody to save you from drowning, John.
When you blow the whistle underwater.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
are you a strong swimmer?
Can you tell? No, I'm just kidding. No. Oh man, no, I'm a fish in the water. You cannot pull me out of that water fast enough. I can swim with or without.
Boy.
They just want their kayak back. They don't give a hoot about you.
You say you're a fish in water, Emily. You seem to be spending quite a lot of your time in the water.
I love the water. And actually, I'm glad my mother is. We're getting a pool, so hopefully by next summer, cross your fingers, we'll have the pool by next summer.
Alison asked, where's the best place you've actually kayaked? Where's the best place you've kayaked?
Yeah, Allison, that's the only place that we do kayak. It's called 5 Islands. You can look it up on the internet. We start from the land, and as I said before, it crosses over from the bay area to where we are out into the ocean, and then we just kind of kayak around the area. Or paddleboard, excuse me. So
how fast do you kayak, Emily? How fast
do you? Very fast. I mean,
what sort of speed do you go?
No, it's not. It's not very fast. You use it's upper body strength for sure. So if you guys look like you have upper body strength. So as long as you guys have upper body strength, you guys right? Exactly.
Well, do you know what the world record, Emily? Do you know what the world record speed on a kayak is?
I don't.
Miles an hour or kilometers? What do you want?
Miles,
hell, we're in the U.S. Miles an hour. I can't figure kilometers.
19.2 miles per hour is the fastest they've ever reached. Yeah.
What?
And have you heard of a flyack?
No. Goodness.
Google flyack.
I will.
Because they've invented a flyack, which is like a hydrofoil version of a kayak, which is going to try and beat the world record of a kayak.
Wow.
So if I was you, if you can grab hold of a flyack, then you can obviously impress your friends because you'll be faster than them. Because I think when you reach a certain speed, it rises above the water. That's what it does, and it goes faster.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. So you get yourself on a flyack rather than a kayak.
Hans says, how can you tell if someone is a kayaker? Don't worry, wait a moment, they'll tell you. By the way, Hans, where are you from?
Wise guy over here.
Stick in the comments where you're from, Hans.
Love it. That's really cool.
Because that's a name that I'm not familiar with, and so I always try to figure out where people are from.
When you kayak, how far do you go, Emily? How far? What sort of distance do you go?
As I said, we do. It's pretty far, but far enough where we can actually go out to where our sailboats are. A lot of sailboats are out into the marina, so we do paddle board into the marina. We also kayak out into the marina. Oh, and that reminds me, the paddle boards underneath have a little curve, like the surfboards do, underneath the boards. Yeah. Okay, so paddle boards have that. So we were coming into the marina. Now I was standing up on it at the time, and the line of the boat, for their anchor. So I saw the line there, and I got down really quick because the curve of the paddleboard almost caught the line, and then I would have fell into the marina.
Minimum and beer. I'm not going to argue about the beer on that one, Hans. Well, I'm not going to compare English beer to Germany beer, yeah, because I don't think we're going to win that one. Because absolutely, the German beer festivals. Wow. What in 24 hours, Emily? Yeah. What do you think the furthest someone's ever gone on a kayak in 24 hours?
I want to guess.
Go, John.
I'm thinking like averaging 10 miles an hour, because they would go faster, but then they would pause. So I'd say about 240 miles is my guess.
They could be on a fly-ack, of course, John.
No, I think standard kayak. That's my
240, you think, yeah? What do you think, Emily?
Maybe on the fly-ack? Maybe on the fly-ack?
On a kayak, not a fly-ack. 24 hours.
No, just a kayak. Oh, boy. Tell me, I don't know.
Okay. Chillie, are you going to guess?
Huh.
No. Okay, John, you actually well, John, you would have broken the world record, by the way, just so you know that, John. So you'd be really impressed if you do 156.41 miles.
See, they just don't have. They're not motivated.
You know why? They were in Poland. Yeah.
There you go. Too many.
There's a chap in Poland. He was called Sebastian Zabaski in Poland. He did that in the year 2019. So
actually,
obviously,
still an incredible distance to kayak.
I have a secret for you guys.
Yeah.
Pete is trying to become co-host of Jeopardy. He's trying out for Jeopardy. That's going to be his new television show, so he can ask all these damn dumb questions.
Thomas just said, I'm going to ignore that one. And it must be in Ireland. Isn't the beer a good beer there? Well, Guinness. I love Guinness. And I have to say,
I don't like Guinness.
The cans of Guinness you can get from the supermarket now are actually decent.
Well, because they have the little thing. They have the thing inside of it that keeps it pressurized and gassed.
You can't beat a pint of Guinness. Absolutely fantastic. So, Tom, there you go, yeah? I'm sure Hans will agree about a pint of Guinness.
Well, me and Hans are together on the fact that Germany has the best beer. I'll tell you what.
Don't you live in Germany part of the time, John? Haven't you?
Well, I'm just totally...
It comes in great big damn steins. I mean, you get 4 gallons.
But it's not the quantity. I mean, the minute I get off the plane in Amsterdam, that's usually my stop. I got to have a beer right away, because when it comes from that tap, it's just real beer to me from a youth in Minnesota. It's just different and better, and I've never found it in America. Never.
Wow.
Never.
Huh.
But I don't like the dark beers. I don't like the beer. If you can't see through a beer, to me, it's something else. If people like it, no fault, no harm. But I like a beer that you can see your enemy through.
Gretchen says, what keeps you gassed, John?
What
keeps you gassed, John? That's what Gretchen says.
Keeps me gassed. Usually Chillie.
And Thomas said, I heard Ken Jennings is going to be the co-host.
There's lots of suppositions about that.
Okay, I've got one more stupid fact then, Emily. Yeah, what's the highest a kayak has ever been? The highest in feet.
The highest?
Yeah, and where? Someone's done this, gone kayaking. How high has someone gone kayaking?
Some top of a waterfall or something, and tried to ride it down the waterfall.
What's the highest lake in the world? There's got to be a real high.
Lake Titicaca.
Is that the highest?
Yes.
No. That's not correct.
No.
Could you believe this crazy person, is called Dan Ball?
Did he kayak out of an airplane? Did he go out of the back ass of an airplane?
No, he kayaked on the world's highest volcano. Could you believe?
Which would be what?
Wow.
Oas del Salvador, I think it's called. 18,724 feet in the air. Roughly where you fly, John. Yeah, 18,000 feet in the air. And he had to use an axe to kayak because it was icy.
So he kayaked on the side of a mountain, basically.
Yeah, the world's highest volcano.
But that's not, to me, kayaking has got to be on agua, por favor.
But it is agua. It's just frozen. It's agua.
Stiff agua is not agua.
It's still aqua. It's frozen.
Well, exactly. That's
like putting an egg into a cake and saying you're eating eggs.
But my reason for these facts, John, Chillie, is that we're hoping that in a year's time we can come back and we can be talking about Emily's records that she's done and the crazy places that she's gone kayaking. And
now, you're asking all these wacko questions, and I've been sitting here like a little kid has to go pee.
I know.
Wanted to ask Emily a serious question.
It's okay.
Can I ask a serious question?
Go for it.
After you kayak, you head for the bar and have a couple brewskis?
Actually, honestly, I have to come back here and take all the salt water off of my belongings. Because salt water is very, and as you guys know, it's very, very hard on your bathing suits, your life jacket, and your shirt, your clothes, everything. So I have to come and rinse everything off with the hose, and then leave it outside to dry.
Now since you're thinking about putting a pool in,
yes,
I'm going to give you a fact that you don't know.
Uh-oh.
Chlorine is worse on your clothes.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Than salt is. My saltwater pool is 100 times better than all those years we dealt with chlorine. Yeah.
But I don't want the fishy smell like on my life jacket, so I come back and I rinse my life jacket off.
Well, now I can understand if you're around the fish.
Right. Well, we do. There are fish in there. In fact, the bunker fish, John. Remember I was asking you about the bunker fish? We have a bunch of bunker fish, schools of bunker fish. And they look like little tiny sharks because you just see them like this in the water. And apparently they're eating other fish in the water. But no, we do get full of bunker fish, and you see them a lot.
Another reason I'm not going kayaking.
Well, I've got a serious question in Chillie.
Yes, go ahead.
When we get back cruising, Emily, when we get back cruising, where would you love to go kayaking?
At the islands, if I kill Alaska or the islands.
Yeah.
So that would be, I would prefer Alaska right now, actually.
To be right down in the water and then look up at the low lying and then the mountains.
Yeah, something about being in the water and you're just have the whole outside around you and your surroundings.
Maybe we can organise that, Emily, because we're going to be speaking to Nate from Alaska. Not this Sunday, the Sunday after.
Next Sunday.
Sunday week.
Or how about our gal friend that's up there? She's like a adventure junkie.
Oh yeah, Lady Laura. Yep, she's there too, Lady Laura.
Yeah,
all right, we have another Hans story here. Two Eskimos light a fire in their boat in an attempt to stay warm. However, the fire burns through the boat and it sinks, proving once and for all that you can't have your kayak and heat it too. They're going downhill, my friend. Going downhill rapidly.
I know. You don't want to put your kayak in and have fire at the same time.
Allison's egging him on.
Yeah, go for it, Allison. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Is this guy from the other cruising show? Your friend there, Chillie.
Bruce,
yeah. I've seen him on Bruce's channel.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Tom Henry's over there too.
Oh yeah, sure. I don't know. Well, we know Tom Henry. We know Tom Henry.
Antigua was my first and favorite kayak location.
Sure, the warm water would really help. That would really be nice.
The Caribbean.
I have jet skied in the warm water because we have been down to the islands many years ago, and I have jet skied. So I know I definitely would love the kayaking if I could do do kayaking in the islands. So
you jet ski as well, Emily?
I have, yes, and I do prefer that over the kayaking and the paddle boarding. So that's a lot of fun.
Is there anything you haven't done on water?
I know. You know what I haven't done? The big 3-wheel bike. What's it called? It's like a tricycle, but the big gigantic tricycle.
Oh yeah, they got those over in the Bahamas.
I would love. See, I haven't done that. I would love to do that. Have not
that jet of water that pushes you up, and so you're like going across the water with this jet of water keeping you afloat. Have you seen that?
Yes, done that. Yes, I've done that. I've taken off from the sand, and I've taken off from a big wooden a big wooden little island in the middle of the water. An island. I'm sorry.
Did you stay up?
No, I did. Yeah, you have to run the plank. It's a big, gigantic square plank, and you have to run off from that. And then the boat is way ahead of you, and it pulls you up, and then you're just, parasailing. I couldn't think of the word. I just got it.
Parasailing. Oh, now see,
not on
if I wasn't so fat, I'd try that.
You just need two. You just need 2 boats and 2 sails, and then you go between.
Yeah.
I have
parachute. It's a big parachute above you, and you're in a harness. So you have to get into your harness, and then the parachute has hooks that hooks you to the harness, and then the boat lifts you up, and then up you go.
I have done that, yeah. I've done that in Gran Canaria, yeah. And I give a tip with that one, yeah, because where you actually go off the boat and go up there from the boat, and then you come back on the boat. So my tip for that, yeah, is make sure you're really good with the captain, yeah, because then they don't really quite like you when you're coming back onto the boat. As you're coming down, as I was. You suddenly realize you're not quite going to get there, and you start dipping your feet, and then you literally go into the water and come out of the water again and go back in the water. So make sure you're good with the captain. Fantastic. Incredible. But I meant the jet ones, those bits of water that fly you up and you like walking on the water.
Oh, that would be unbelievable. That would be
I think Chillie and John should do that.
Yeah, say, Pete, see, you don't understand. They have limits that say like you have to weigh less than 226 pounds or some ridiculous thing that I passed when I was 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to stick with the pedalos, yeah?
Pedalos.
Oh my God. Right. Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Emily.
What made you want to kayak, Emily?
I'm sorry?
What made you want to kayak? What was it that made you go, I really want to learn how to kayak?
It's the water. Like, you could put me in the water and I'll stay there. I'm just a fish in the water. I will stay in there for as long as I possibly humanly can. And I love the water. So I'm excited about my mom getting a pool. So
can I ask a question, Emily?
I'll be in the pool. I won't come out.
Can I ask you a question? It's a serious question, yeah? Because we can only see the top part of you, yeah? Are you actually a mermaid?
No, shh, don't tell anybody.
Are you a mermaid? That's what I want to know.
Maybe. No.
She's not going to tell. That one is between Emily and the dog.
Right, exactly. I'll tell you off camera. So
what advice would you give for someone who's never kayaked before? And they would like to try it, brave enough to try it?
Well, no, I have come across a couple of people who are first timers and even first timers for paddleboarding, and they are a little scared, but we are all in a group. And so you do have the 2 instructors who are there with you. So if you are afraid, they're there to help you, which is why on land, we do our round robin routine, the mini AA. So we'll get to know each other. And if you have any questions, there's Lady. Oh, we were just talking about you. Hey, how you doing?
And lady, Emily wants to kayak in Alaska. Yeah,
I do.
So as I said, we have Nate on the show. Nate's on the show in 2 weeks' time on Sunday week from Alaska. So maybe Nate and Lady can organize you kayaking in Alaska.
Oh, that would be so much fun. But yeah, people
in January. In January.
Yeah, you're going to freeze your tutu off. I'll tell you that.
Exactly.
Tom,
just try it.
There's a message for you, Chillie, from Tom.
Yeah. No, you're very safe. Everyone's very, very safe. We all have life jackets. That's the #1 safety issue. And we have whistles, and they tell you where the whistles are in their vest. And with me, I have my own whistle, so I put it onto my life jacket. And if you have any questions, or they stay right there with you, so you're not far from any of the instructors, you're not far from anybody. And honestly, we all look out for each other. So which is a good thing. Even on the paddle board, we all look out for each other. We all know where we all are at the same time. So if there's people behind, we call out to the people behind us, hey, So we do. We all look out for each other. Oh, I will. I will. I will definitely let you know, Lady, for sure. Yes, not in January. Definitely not January. It's a little cold.
But see, up there, you go out in a kayak, and you got a damn whale that you got to dodge.
No, Emily, the only reason you'd get me in a kayak in Alaska would be to get away from the bears. Yeah,
they can swim.
There's a bear, and I won't have my bear spray that lady has. I won't have my bear spray, so I'll be like, help.
Now, lady was with the Wolverine.
Oh yeah,
she had a Wolverine right at her on the kayak. But she was on a kayak. Come to think about it, she was kayaking around a Wolverine. It's not like in New Rochelle. You got to be out there, Emily, real out there, like lady.
Well, I got sharks. You didn't have the Wolverine, so I have sharks. So there could be a shark out there.
Chillie, guess what? Hans has got another one.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Watch out for it. I've seen a bit of it. Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear about the guy who was captured by cannibals and turned into a kayak? Don't worry, he's in ship shape now.
Oh my God.
How do we come up with a kayak comedian today?
I know.
I love it. A comedian.
We're trying to be silly, and he's stealing all the good lines.
Still in the show, Han.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yes, we did kayak around the Wolverine. That's the greatest picture I've ever seen, lady. Honest to goodness, I love that one.
But honestly, the only fish I've seen were those bunker fish, as I was stating before. But they're in groups, and all you see their fins, and I guess they're just like that, because they're all trying to feed underneath. So you do see them moving about in the water.
What is a bunker fish to someone who knows nothing about fish?
John knows about the bunker fish, but they're about that big, John.
Yeah.
These bunker fish. Yeah. But they can.
I don't think I'll be afraid of those.
And I'm like, oh God, I hope one doesn't fly
Pete,
up.
you know what a shark looks like?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like anything like it.
If it's that size, I'm not going to be afraid of it. This is the piranha. Yeah.
Oh, let me see. Yeah, they're pretty big.
And can you eat them? Can you eat those? Are they edible?
Single most important fish in the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico. They're feeder fish. They feed the bigger fish that's why they're considered, they're the fish the bigger fish that we love. I'm trying to focus it here.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty large.
But you see the guy's hand there holding it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, the camera doesn't want to focus here. There we go, maybe.
Focused, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Oh, wow.
So they're basically bait. They're bait.
That's what I was just thinking. And down here in Virginia, we call that bait.
Yeah.
Well, yes, you could use it as bait, but it's the fish that multiplies like minnows in a lake in Minnesota, so that the other fish have something to grow upon.
There's so many of them. You see them all in a group, and all you see is them going like this in the water.
Yeah, so like sardines. Sardines would be a bunker fish, where sardines are plentiful. They're by the bazillions. Bazillion, a word that President Bush invented.
Right.
So they don't bite anyway. Bunker fish don't bite, yeah?
No, they can fly into your kayak, and our instructors have told us if they do fly in, just tell us and we'll take it out.
So they're basically fish swimming around. So the bunker fish are basically fish swimming around with the words "eat me" on them.
Basically. But they are
anyway.
out there.
Sorry.
I want to see John go out and harvest some of his product and rub it on his chest or whatever he does with it and smokes it or whatever, and then go get on one of those lakes in Minnesota and kayak around.
Kayaking.
I want to see that.
You gotta get out of kayak, John. You gotta get up on a kayak.
Yeah, those beautiful islands we had on the show the other day, John. You should kayak around there.
Oh, there you go. Oh, is that
the... there he is advertising his pod again.
Yeah.
Shameless plug. This is lip gloss.
Lipstick pot.
Oh my goodness. No.
Full spectrum hemp lip gloss. Yes.
What? Oh my goodness.
Your lips are numb for 3 days.
I know.
No. It just makes me calm.
When are you going kayaking again, Emily? When are you going to go kayaking again?
Next summer, honestly.
Next summer?
next summer. I mean, I think there is
Why?
one more fall trip, but again, the water is a little cold to put my feet into. And that's the other thing. Oh, and you have to have closed-toed shoes because you do, from our point of view, since we are from the land and going to the kayak, you do step into the water a little bit. I mean, not much, about like that much of the water you do step into, and then you step into the kayak. So I don't know. I may not do it, but yeah, next summer definitely I'll be on the kayak and the paddle board for sure.
All right, Nikki has another suggestion for your travels.
Okay.
You go up there with Kate Blanchett to Greenland, and you pretend that you're kayaking in Antarctica.
Well, it sounds like a plan to me.
Where
it's actually in Greenland.
Where it first started 4,000 years ago. Do you know, by the way, Emily, what does kayak mean? What does it actually stand for? What is the meaning of kayak?
You would think I should be knowing all this stuff. I feel.
Yeah, of course you should. You're coming on to the expert here. Any idea?
I'm sure it's water. It has to do with water, I'm sure.
Yeah. The final Jeopardy answer is
hunter's boat.
Hunter's boat.
What?
Hunter's boat.
Oh,
and it could also be called a man's boat as well.
I thought he said hunkers.
Hunter's boat.
Hunters.
Because they used to
talk funny, Pete. You got to learn how to talk normal.
They used to hunt with them, when they're going at 20 miles an hour at the record speeds, at 18,000 feet in the air, and they're the hunters. They were hunter-gatherers 4,000 years ago in a kayak, I guess. So you're really a hunter-gatherer, Emily.
Did they have spear guns too? So they could kayak out and then shoot things?
We don't have it.
I wasn't there, Chillie. Could you believe?
That's right. You're the young pup.
Yeah. You might have been around, so you know.
All right, guys. This has been tremendous fun. Emily, we are so glad that we have had a chance to make fun of you today and learn a little something about kayaking.
Thank you, Chillie. Thank you, Pete. Thank you, John. And lady.
All right, guys, we will see everybody. Let's see, what's next? Sunday. Sunday. We have. We're going to talk about rum. We're going to talk about coconut rum from Jamaica on Sunday.
It's actually
Rude Boy Distillery, a new distillery in Jamaica, will be the main subject on Sunday. And then next Thursday, just mark your calendar, folks. Next Thursday, it's going to be at 9:00 my time. So you have to calculate that because it's like 8:00 John's time and afternoon Pete's time and later afternoon in Greece time. We're going to have Variety Cruises on at 9 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time next Thursday to talk about cruising the Greek islands on schooners and things.
And kayaking. The Greek islands.
They might have kayaks too. So,
maybe paddleboards. They might have paddleboards too.
That's very possible. We'll have to ask them.
Yeah.
Have to ask them.
So you remember that and mark those questions down. So, all right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for being with us. That's going to wrap us up for Cruise Amigos live from Virginia with Emily Archer talking about kayaking and paddle boarding. And we'll see everybody next time. Y'all have a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy, wear your mask, all that stuff. And I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.